Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John and this video is going to be part 2 of the incredible subscriber mail I got from Michael Hewett. Now if you haven't seen the other one, I will leave part 1 in the description down below. And what I'm doing is I've already filmed part 1 and I had to cut it into 2 because there's that much stuff there. I've done half of it, which is sensational. You'll love that video if you haven't seen it. And I'm going to go through the rest of the box and call this like part 2 so you can watch them together if you would like. Okay, so I just want to, the actual box itself is like colossal, so there was no way I was going to get through this on one video. The video would have literally been an hour and a half. So anyway, so this is part 2. So Michael's also sent me a box previously of slipcovers, and in this box he said he was going to send us some slipcovers and also some double Blu-rays that he's got. He said that him and his wife Elaine were going to make some space for some more, which I always like to hear. So I'll take you through. I've got the slipcovers here. I'll do that, then I'll open up the rest of the Blu-rays that are in this box, this huge box. So first up, I've got Hancock. Now, weirdly enough, I did used to have this yonks ago on Blu-ray. It was one of the first Blu-rays I ever got. I got it with the actual machine that I bought at the time. I don't know whatever happened to it. Actually, I think it might be in the Sun's. And I know for a shadow of a doubt it didn't have a slipcover on. But that's in Boston as well. Lovely. So if I see it, I will put it on there. And I don't know there's a 4K out of this one, so I might put it on a 4K if I ever see the 4K version of it. So that's Hancock. I'll put that in the CEX pile. I've got a pile for ones that I'm going to look for in CEX. I've got a pile that I know are ones that I can put in my collection straight away. And I've got a pile for ones that I might do something with in the future. They are not a spoiler alert, but that's the ones that I know that I might have to look for other things to do with them because I've already got them. So next up is The Girl Who Played with Fire. Now I've always been intrigued by these movies and I've never seen them. I know though, actually I think I was looking in Poundland today and I think I saw this one for £1. And I will be tempted to go back and see this. Of course, it's been in there for probably 10 years and then when you go and get it, it's not there. But I do hope that that's still there because I'll be able to pick that one up for like I say £1. Or it's definitely in the CEX pile actually because these ones, I don't know if did this ever become a trilogy in the UK, because I know it was a trilogy when it was originally released in, I'm going to say like Sweden or Denmark. So that's The Girl Who Played with Fire. Next is Gambit. Now this is a one that's kind of intrigued as this one because this Cameron Diaz make movies now. It's just stopped. Nice bit of embossing there. I do like Colin Firth for some reason. He's an actor. I always thought of him being in like romantic dramas, and I thought not my cup of tea. I've got him in a few movies, but the movies that he gets in, I usually always want to watch him, like The King's Speech, for instance. He's always pretty good actually. So yeah, this is another one that's going to be cheap as chips. These are in the CEX pile, so that's Gambit. Next is the Smurfs. Now in my other video there was the Smurfs 2 was on the slip, and this is the Smurfs. Now I do want to get these on 4K maybe because at about £3.49 as I speak in HMV. Probably not be there when I want them, but if I haven't got a slip, I've ever seen them in CEX. They've got to be cheap in CEX. You'll definitely get a slip over the top of them. So that's the Smurfs. I did used to be mad on the Smurfs when I was a kid. I used to collect them all as well. Used to cost, well, they weren't cheap. Don't know where that ever ended up like, but they're probably worth a fortune now, aren't they? Next is the Croods. Now, or the Croods, should I say? This is a one that I've been meaning to watch on Sky Movies for a long time. Keep seeing it in CEX and think there's going to be one. I think there's two, obviously. So these movies here, we always get. If I see them cheap, I always pick them up. And Deborah will say, "What you got that for?" And I said, "Well, I think it'd be a good laugh." And then sometimes when we've got nothing to watch, when I say nothing to watch, when there's nothing we can agree on, I'll say, let's watch one of these, and I've just picked one out. And 9 times out of 10, we'll have a great time. And there's only been one that we didn't like that was to do with this sort of like CGI kiddies movies, for want of a better word. And it was the one that was on Sky Movies called the Monster Family or something. It was absolutely awful. And I couldn't imagine, me, Deborah, and her mum were watching it. And we all looked at each other and said, did anyone find anything funny about that movie? Because usually I laugh out these. He says, no, it was absolutely useless. And that's the only one I can ever say about that. So that's the Croods. I thought it was the Croods. Next up is Drive Hard. John Cusack and Thomas Jane. Never heard of this movie. I would imagine that this would be a one that you could find in a nice, lovely slipcover that you could find in a Poundland or CX. So I'll keep an eye out for that. That's one for the CX pile. Lovely slip. Next up is now I'm sure I've got Headhunters. I'm sure I've got this, or I'm sure I've had this. I don't know. It just rings too many bells. Not too sure who's in this. I can't read the writing. That's another one for the CX pile. And like I say, a lot of these I would imagine these days when you go and see them, they wouldn't have a slipcover on. The slipcover would be absolutely tatty as anything because these are all in immaculate condition. So you can put a slip straight up the top of it, and you can get these ones for next to nothing. Next up is now I remember seeing these. Or it might not be in this one, but I remember seeing these nose being drawn to the slipcovers for them. I thought they always had like fantastic slipcovers. Now I do know that I don't know which one it is, but one of them was filmed in the centre of Newcastle, or a bit of the film was, and I've never been able to track that one down. But I do know there was a video, there was stuff on the news that night, on the local news, saying of these cars screaming all over the place. And I would love to see that bit, if it's probably in the film for about 10 seconds. But yeah, I don't actually own any of the Transformers, although I think my son's got a couple, and I have seen them. But another one for the CX pile, and like I say, you can see these ones dead cheap now. So that's Transformers Age of Extinction. Now if it's got what's his name in it, Mark Wahlberg, then I do like Mark Wahlberg in movies. So that's Transformers Age of Extinction. Next is Ghostbus. I love this movie. I know a lot of people can't stand it, but I think it's a great movie. And I've got this on 4K, and I know I've got the slip for it, but I know I've got that. But it's a lovely slip. That I love that sort of matte finish. I just think this movie is a great movie, and I'm going to put this in the pile I'm going to do something with it, but I don't know what. I would definitely put this in a frame with other ones. People might say, what are you got that in the frame for? But as a movie, not a Ghostbusters movie, but I do think it's a decent movie. It's enjoyable, and I do like the actresses in here, although I know a lot of people don't like them or can't get away with them. Ghostbusters, Answer the Call. Next is iPod. I've got this, and I don't think it's got a slip on. Pretty sure it's not a slip on. Can't see it. Must be my son's bedroom. If we don't have it, I'm sure I've got it because I've seen it quite countless times. I will pick it up again, get it for next to nothing. I love Alan Partridge, and I've got his book. His book is so funny. It's one of the funniest things ever in my life. Can't get enough of Steve Coogan as Alan Partridge. So that's definitely going to get picked up if I haven't got it already, but I don't think I've got the slip. That'll go in the pile of, I'll put a slip on that. That's I Partridge. Great movie. Can't believe there's a movie of Alan Partridge. Next is A United Kingdom. Never heard of this movie. A true story of love that shook an empire. I don't know anything about this movie. Nothing at all. So that'll be going in the CX pile. It's a nice bit of spotlight. I don't think I've ever seen anything to do with this movie. Wow. So that's your United Kingdom. Next up is the majestic Steven Seagal. Ving Rhames is in here as well. And Danny Trejo, which means he's probably in for a millisecond. Steven Seagal, what can you say about him? Bar, wow. He's, to be honest, his early movies are really watchable. We do like them. Me and the devs have watched them when he started off. And then he got to this point where he became a sort of, like, a bit of a caricature of himself. And to be honest, when you watch him now, I watch him for the fact of how little he does in a movie. Literally, he doesn't talk hardly, he mumbles all the way through it. He does a minimum amount of exercise, or should I say exertion, when he actually flips someone a million miles off a building. But I think they're dead watchable and dead funny. And this one will be next to nothing, probably 25 pence in CX, but quite a nice slip actually. But Steven Seagal, wow. Now I don't know if it's just me, and I'm not being jealous here, but I'm pretty sure he wears a wig, or should I say he's had his head carpeted. But wow, never seen nothing like it. So that's Force of Execution. Next up is now I've got this one. I might have it on DVD. In fact, I think I have got it on DVD, but I might have it on Blu-ray. If I haven't, I will get it on Blu-ray, because for some reason I think Danny Dyer is so watchable. He is Danny Dyer, and I think that's why I like him. Obviously, it's got Bob Hoskins as well, great actor, and Sean Bean. It's one of the ones where I've collected it. I've got a lot of his stuff down there on DVD. It might be a DVD one, but I will upgrade it to Blu-ray if I haven't got the Blu-ray already. So I'll put this on the pile of going on top of a movie. But if I haven't got it, it'll be a CEX one. But yeah, so Outlaw. Haven't seen it, but I don't know. I just think that I will get anything that Danny Dyer's got. Could believe it or not. So that's Outlaw. Wow, that's a good one. Next up is 21 Jump Street. Now, I've got 21 Jump Street, can't even say it, and 22 Jump Street, which is the sequel. That took some locating. Now, I know I've got these two movies, and one of them had a slipcover on, and the slipcover is on the other one. So this is brilliant. This is going to go on the one that I haven't watched these movies yet, but I definitely haven't got the slipcover on this. So that's a brilliant one. So that's 21 Drum Street. Can't say that. I have to get my new teeth in for the next video. Next up is Hard Rush, Dolph Lundgren and Vinnie Jones and Randy Couture. I think these movies are very watchable. I watched them because they're a bit cheesy, I've got to say. I don't mind cheesy action movies. In fact, cheesy action movies are right up my alley. Also, Vinnie Jones is a right laugh, I find him in these movies. I can't believe how many movies he's made. He's made a good career for himself, and they're quite generic, but I like them. It's a bit like Danny Dyer, a bit like Dolph Lundgren. They make the type of, these movies are just like this, but I've never heard of this movie, if I'm honest, but I find them very watchable. You'd be surprised at some of these sort of low-budget action movies that I watch. You might not think it's my thing, but it really is. So that's Head Rush. Put in the CEX pile, which is getting huge. Next up is Never Let Me Go, which is Karen Mulligan, Andrew Garfield and Keira Knightley, based on the best-selling novel. Never heard it. Never heard of it, should I say. Like I say, this is the one that I would pick up. See, some of these ones you pick up and you would never know about them. You pick them up in CEX, and like I say, they'll be very cheap. And you watch them and you have a great time with them. That's a good cast, actually. That Carey Mulligan, I think she's great, actually. She's great in Drive, which is coming out in a massive 4K box set. Wow. So that's Never Let Me Go. CEX, please. Next up is In the Blood. So I think she's out of The Mandalorian. Danny Trejo again, but look at this slipcover. That's a lovely slipcover. To be honest, she was great in the Mandalorian, but I know she said some questionable things, so she was kicked off. I think she might be coming back to the series, but maybe not. So, I'm looking up there. Wow, it shows you how bad my eyes are. Gina Carano. Yes, that's her. That's like I say, I've never heard of it, but these are ones I'm going to have actual fun trying to find these. A bit of a sort of treasure hunt for these movies. So that's In the Blood. Lovely slipcover, that. Next is Now You See Me Too. I'm thinking, if I'm wrong, I might be wrong about this. Got a great cast. Is Now You See Me something to do with Steven Spielberg? I'm not too sure about that. I think it says here. Can't read who actually did it. Can't read that at all. This is a one that will be from CEX. I didn't even know they'd done it. Now You See Me Too. So that's this pile's huge over here. Next up is Specter. Now I do have these on 4K, but my son has all the Blu-rays that I used to have of these in his collection, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a slipcover on this. Nice slipcover as well. Quite like the same as the 4K one. But yes, this will be going in his collection. I'm sure he hasn't got it on the Blu-ray, because he doesn't really do 4Ks, even though he's got a PS5 and a 4K telly. So that's Spectre. Let's put in the ones where I know I'm going to do something with it. Next up is Cars 3. I've never seen Cars 3, and I do know that you obviously Cars 1, 2 and 3 you get cheap in their CX. And I do know that I'll give all these movies a shot. I keep saying before, we're quite into these movies. That's Cars 3, and that'll be a CEX pickup. I'm amazed at how cheap these ones are now, probably because of the Disney Plus streaming service. Next up is Ong Bak, the beginning. Now, I'm 99% positive my son's got this. I know he has. This is the prequel to Ong Bak. I think they did Ong Bak, and they might have done another one, and then they went back to the start, or they went Ong Bak and then a prequel. Don't know why they did that. Ong Bak is such a good movie. It's one of the best ones you'll ever see. But I'm sure it hasn't got a slip. I can't remember seeing a slip for this. Plus, it's got embossed on it as well. But I love this movie, and this one's not bad either. Although Ong Bak is just in a different league. So that's one for my son. I'm pretty sure that's where it is. I don't think I've got it here. If I haven't got it here and he hasn't got it, I will buy it. That'll go in the CX pile. Wow. So next up is, oh, you know what it is? I've got that, and it's just down there. And every time I come in the room, I see it, and I've got it down there. The reason why I got it down there is because I watched half of it, and I need to watch the other half. This is what I was talking about. I like these action stars. Now, Luke Goss, for some reason, I like his movies. It's one of these movies. If I see a Luke Goss film, I'll get it. I don't know why I like him as an actor. I think he's pretty good, actually. I know he's obviously half of Bros, and the fact that they got paid a large amount of money to get back together again, and they couldn't stop fighting, is incredible, actually. To be honest, I think all the problems came from the other brother, not Luke Goss, but Matt Goss. Anyway, so yes, that's an instant one. I know that people might say, "Wow, Dead Drop, never heard of it." Luke Goss, it's a load of rubbish. I don't think it's a load of rubbish at all. His head always looked like it wasn't part of the picture. It's like it got a picture and just stuck his head on it, because the way it looks like it's a false head. So yeah, so that's brilliant, that one. And it's funny how these low budget ones, like I say, that's like, wow, that's great. And people might not thank you for this type of thing, but this is my game. So that's Dead Drop. I think he gets thrown out of a plane, and it's all about what happens after that, I think. Next up is Lincoln. The Lincoln biopic with that's a nice slipcover. Feels very heavy card. This is Daniel Day-Lewis. Was this his last film that he made? Because I know he's packed it in now. I don't think he made one after this. So that's going in the CX pile. I would imagine he does a great version of Lincoln in this, because he is a good actor. That's Lincoln. CX pile. And last up in this packet is Johnny English, Reborn. Now, I've got this movie. I don't think it's got a slipcover on. I know I got this when it came out, actually, and I do think it's a good movie. I do think all three of them are good. The first one's the best by far, and it's. I think I'd like to do more, actually. I think it's got a lot of legs left in this. Although Man vs. Bee, which is coming up on Netflix, looks really interesting. So that's Johnny English, Newborn.
Where's me ladders?
Johnny English, Reborn, and that'll be going over in the pile that I think needs to be going on for these Blu-rays after I've done the unboxing of the Blu-rays in there. I think that's all the slipcovers there. Could be wrong, but I think that's all the slip. You should see them over here. There's loads of them. I'm going to count them up after this and tell you exactly how many's been given. So that's Johnny English, Reborn. So next up, I've got 2 packages of Blu-rays, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to stick the covers on the ones that I need to stick the covers on, and just show you what they look like. And obviously, I've still got loads to go to CX with. I've got these other great Blu-rays and a DVD here, which is stunning, which you need to see the other video to find out what that was. And I've also got a few that my son might need on his movies. Wow. So let's get into this pack of Blu-rays, and there's 2 packs here. Just want to say thank you once again to Michael for doing this. This is like unbelievable. I've never ever received this before as a subscriber mail. It's just the amount of stuff that's come here is something that I've never ever seen. Actually, when I'm watching, I've never seen anybody receive this amount of stuff. I'm going to count it up at the end to see exactly how many pieces of physical media, i.e. slipcases and also discs, that have been sent to us, because I'm quite blown away. And that's why I've split this into 2, because there's no way this would have been one huge video, and I want people to not think it's too long and not look at it. I want to see it in sort of bite-sized chunks, kind of, and then they can watch them without feeling that it's too long. So Let's do this again the way I did it last time. Just pull them off and just see what they are. This first one is still wrapped, I think. Oh, and it is wrapped. Bruce Lee, young Bruce Lee, The Birth of a Legend, Ultimate Edition, Cine Asia. Big fan of this company, and I've picked this up a load of times in HMV. Never bought it, but always wanted to see it. I love stuff like this. Anything that's to do with Bruce Lee, or people, doing a Bruce Lee story, or sort of taking them off. I think they're great. Obviously, this company here, Cine Asia, is one of the best companies ever. So this is a definite. I mean, like I say, still shrink wrap. Wow. So that's the young Bruce Lee. Next up is District 9. Oh, sorry, District 9, 2012 in Battle, Los Angeles. Now, weirdly enough, this is a triple pack. This is, what a slipcover that is. Never seen this before out in the wild. Never seen it before. Didn't know it existed. I've got, my son's got one of these. I'm trying to think which one it is. I think it's Battle Los Angeles. I've always wanted to see District 9, but never got it. And I haven't seen 2012, but wanted to see it. I do know it's kind of a bit over the top 2012, but wow, look at that. It's quite heavy as well. So thanks a lot for that one. It's weird when you get these movies and you think, I didn't even know this thing existed. But these are 3 movies I'm quite interested in. So that's District 9, 2012, and Battle, Los Angeles. Next up is Max Payne, Harder Cut. That's a lovely stuff, very thick. Now these, you can call these sort of like low budget action movies, but that's a nice spot gloss in that. I do like these movies. I got a lot of enjoyment out of them actually. As well as low budget horror movies, low budget action films are another thing that I really am very interested in, although I don't really talk about them much on the channel. So this is it's a brilliant slipcover, and we do like Mark Wahlberg. Deborah will like to watch this one. Yep, so contains strong violence, nice one. So that's another one of these ones where Deborah will go for stuff like that. Sometimes if I pull out like a low budget horror movie, it's an instant no, but anything to do with low budget action, you should go for it. Brilliant. Next is Shrink Wrapped is Transit. Now I hadn't heard of it actually, and he had said, did you manage to pick up Transit when I was going to CX? I said I didn't see one at all. He says, well, I'll send it to you. So yes, and I didn't realize it was going to be still shrink wrapped. So yeah, so I've got the slipcover for this one from the producer of Die Hard and Lethal Weapon. Sounds not bad at all. So that's Transit. Next up is Looper. Debs is really into Bruce Willis, and obviously with his recent diagnosis of really bad health, which it's sort of something I've told her a few times and said, do you want to watch a few more Bruce Willis movies? She says yes. So I told her about this one after getting the slipcover. She says, oh yeah, I watched that one. So yep, that's definitely getting watched, and it's great that this would be the ones that I was looking out for in CEX, but I don't have to because I've actually got the actual disc off Michael. So wow. So I've got another package here. Get these open. So first up in this last bunch of a phenomenal subscriber mail from Michael is I've looked at this quite a few times actually. Look at that. That's good. I've seen the picture of this loads of times. But obviously I've never seen the slipcover, and I didn't know there was a lenticular slipcover of it at all. So this is another one that's got me thinking. Now it says the director of Creep and Severance. Severance is an absolutely amazing movie. That needs a Blu-ray release if it hasn't got one. Don't know anything about it. I just know that I like the cover, and I do love the lenticular one, especially this face appearing. So that's Triangle. Wow. Next is wow, Sharknado. I love Sharknadoes, and I do know I've got this, but I do not have the lenticular cover. I mean, look at that. If you haven't seen a Sharknado film, you haven't lived. These have to be some of the most craziest movies you will ever see in your life. And because you think, right, there's a tornado comes, it picks up all the sharks and just lets them flying around the air killing people, it's got to be rubbish. It is rubbish. but it's one of the best forms of rubbish you'll ever see in your life. They mustn't have thought that they must have taken this like a serious movie, because it's just so ridiculous. It's unreal. I don't know how they ever got the movie made. If it says, if they sort of put that to somebody and says we're going to make that one, that says get out of here. But anyway, this is the amazingness. I do love these movies, and to get a lenticular of this one is brilliant. So that's Sharknado. Highly, highly, highly recommended for all the wrong reasons, or the right reasons, I don't know. Next up is the Wolverine. Now, I've got this movie, but I haven't got a slip. This is still wrapped. Can you believe it? And this is the one that's got the 3D version. Actually, it did feel heavy. It's got the 3D Blu-ray, the Blu-ray, and digital high definition, digital code, shall I say, 3D Blu-ray. Wow, this does feel quite heavy. Obviously, with all the stuff inside, embossed as well. Great cover on that. I haven't seen this movie yet. I do want to watch it. I'm debating on whether or not to watch all the X-Men in sort of thingy, in the way they came out, or do I watch them separately? Because I do know that I do prefer the Wolverine as a character to most of the other X-Men. Be interested to see how they go into the sort of new Marvel universe. So this is the Unleashed Extended Edition. So that's a nice cover, and that's a nice release, nice upgrade for me. Next up is see, look, still wrapped. I've picked this up a million times, and lenticular alert. I've never ever picked it up. I've picked it up that many times and never ever got it. I didn't. Wow, that picture is brilliant. I've never picked it. I've picked it up, but I've never picked it up because I thought I'm sure there's a better cover. I didn't have a slipcover, and that's the short answer to that. And now I've got it with a lenticular. I do know a lot of people say that this is a really good movie to watch. Very enjoyable, low budget, but they did a lot with the budget. So this has been a one that I've always wanted to pick up, but just never have. But now I've got it, so that's amazing. That's monsters. Dying to actually check it out now, because when you want to watch something, you never find it. I would have checked it out in streaming, but I haven't been able to bump into it. So that's monsters. Brilliant one, that. And lastly, in this box, this huge box, is Paul Walker, Hours, Every Second Counts, a nail biter. I'd imagine this is look at that lenticular. A lot of depth in that. That's brilliant. So this is, well, obviously Paul Walker. Everybody knows about Paul Walker. Great actor, tragic loss. Such a shame what happened to him. I'm led to believe he was a really nice bloke as well. So glad they were able to give him a good send off in the Fast and the Furious saga. So such a shame what happened to Paul Walker. Absolutely tragic. But this is another one that the devs would love, this type of movie, and I do want to see more. I haven't got many of his films. I've got the amazing Tammy and the T-Rex, which is brilliant. I do urge anybody to see that movie. And also I've got some of the Fast and the Furious ones, but not that many. I'm not a fan of them all. Not the early ones, I didn't like them at all. So now I'm going to put the slipcovers on the ones that I haven't got slipcovers on in my collection. Okay, so first of all, I did go to my son's room. The door's locked, so he might be in there actually asleep. I'm not too sure about that. So there's a couple of movies there that I think definitely needs to be in his collection that I haven't got in here. So I'm going to put that in his pile of stuff that I think might go to him in his collection, but I don't want to go in there and wake them up, because he's some size, you know, and he'd probably snap my neck like a twig. So I'll put them down there. So I'll take you through the ones that I've got on this first sort of pass through to know that I can upgrade the slipcovers with. So first of all, this one is going to be Ocean's 11, which is going to be the one with the 3 movies in. We all know what's in there. There's great cover that's there. This goes in this box here, or this, should I say, this wrapping, and that will be given to Deborah when she comes in from work today. So that's amazing. That Michael should be made up with that. So many thanks about that. The fact is that I said this is, there might be one with the 3 of the movies in, or I think a box set, and there's one, and I got one of Michael. Absolutely brilliant. Now this one here, when Michael gave us this one, I thought I didn't have it with a slipcover. I do have it with a slipcover, but the one I've got is slightly different. So these look very good together. I do like the fact of having, I didn't even know these things. I thought there was just one version, and to be honest, I didn't even know that was my cover. So this is one I got from Poundland, I'm sure, and I'm surprised it had a slip on, but I'm so glad. I mean, this is, you can tell there's more stuff in this. This obviously doesn't have the 3D disc in it, so it's nice to have the two versions of that. So that's the Wolverine. Next up is, this is Trollhunter. I've changed the one on mine because you can see mine was looking a bit raggy. So that one's not a thing anymore. That's going to go to one side, and this one here is in perfect condition. And like I said, this is one of my favourite slips. And if you haven't seen this movie, you want to check it out. It's an absolutely brilliant movie, much better than you would think. So that's Trollhunter. That's a nice upgrade, that one. Now next up, funny enough, I'd said I got this one without a slipcover, the Sharknado one, and that's quite right. I didn't have it with a slipcover, but I didn't have it on Blu-ray. My version is the DVD, and I can't remember even buying the DVD version of it. I know I want to get the other ones, but haven't got around to getting them yet. The other ones, the more it goes on, the more ludicrous I get, but the better they get for being that stupid. So this is a massive upgrade for me because it's also lenticular. It's a Blu-ray and not a DVD, so there you go. So that's a Sharknado. That was a good one. So funny enough, out of all the stuff I've got here, there's only been one that's been one that I've already got. Now the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 1 is the one I haven't got with a slip, but I have got Cloudy with a Chance of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. So that's the only one that I have got that was kind of like one that I didn't need. So out of all of this, that's like a 99.9.999% hit rate. So that's Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the only one that didn't need upgrading. Wow. Next up is the Sherlock Holmes one. There's my version, and there's the slipcover there. Brilliant slipcover. So that's good to get an upgrade on that one. Next up is Arrival. As I said, didn't have a slipcover with this one. Do know that I reckon the 4K isn't that good. Even if I did get a 4K of it, and I don't think the 4K doesn't have a slipcover on at all. So if I saw it cheap in CX on 4K, I would pick it up. But this slip is going over the top of it. That's Arrival. Next up is Bad Lieutenant. Now, I didn't know that this had a slip at all. Never mind having the lenticular slip. And weirdly enough, I've only paid £1 for this. This movie is quite good actually. I do like the original Harvey Keitel one, and although the picture quality on the Blu-ray is awful at the minute, I do think it needs a good remaster. But really happy to get that and get this lenticular slip. I do think it elevates this movie to another realm. Even though a lot of people didn't care for this one, I think it was quite a good. The character he plays in here is absolutely nuts. So typical Nick Cave, isn't it? Nick Cage. Wow, he's not singing songs. Next up is I, Frankenstein. This, I didn't know actually, the one I had was a Blu-ray in 3D and 2D. So it's nice to get the slip that matches the box. Now, next up is Outlaw. Now, there's the case and there's the disc. I have got it, but it's on DVD. So I will be upgrading this to Blu-ray. Like I say, I haven't, but I do. You got the big JP. Hello. Yes. I'll cut the first bit out. You've actually got a subscriber mail from this in this box. There's something for you in it. I know. See, you're a legend. No, I'm not going to do that, but you are a legend. Yes, that would be great. But we are going for it together. I know. I don't mind doing that. Bye 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 bye. So where was a definite upgrade to the Blu-ray? So that's the CEX pile there. Next up is, this is one of my favourite ones out of this whole lot, believe it or not, and it's Dead Drop. The fact that just getting a slipcover for this is being, I mean, God knows how much I paid for this. I think I probably paid about, at the most, £2. I think I only paid 50 pence if I'm honest. Just really pleased to get this with slipcover on it. I don't know why, it just takes a massive box for us. So wow, so that's Dead Drop. Next up is Johnny English. I thought I might have had the slipcover for this, but I don't have the slipcover, so there you go. So that's, I do like this film. I do like all the 3 films. I hope they make some more. Next up is Transit. Now this Transit here is still shrink wrapped. Wow, and don't know anything about it actually, but it's nice to have on the shelves. I do like to have these on the shelves in slipcover form if I can get them. But that's a good one to have in the collection. That's Transit. Next up is The Book of Life. Now this is, as you look at it, you think, hang on a minute, this slip is really nice. There's a lot going on in it. I don't know if it shows up here, you know, these sort of, this here, the way it catches the light is quite amazing actually. See it there? Wow. Don't know anything about the movie, but I do know that it's a definite one that we will get around to watching as we do watch these ones kind of like in the time I've got nothing else to watch. I know that sounds a bit bad, this movie, it's not. Something to just want to watch one of these sort of like you don't have to think about them too much, you just have to like sit and watch them. And I do want to watch some more of these on my new TV because I don't know how they look on there. I know that I've checked a few 4Ks out of these movies and they look sensational, so I think the Blu-rays will look pretty outstanding as well. So that's The Book of Life. And lastly, in this huge pile here, as Looper. Now, lenticular cover, great lenticular cover. You get the 2 people in here. Like I say, I don't know anything about this movie at all. The most exciting film of the year, they say. And we will definitely be watching that. So that's the last of this bunch. I'll tell you exactly how many I got in the way of movies and also in the way of slipcases. So in the way of movies, I've counted up 16 movies. Now, I've been putting slips onto other ones, so I might have miscounted that slightly. So I've got around about the 16 mark because I've been, you know, I've took things off the shelves, put slipcovers up, put them back on, and I thought, right. But I think that I've got 16 actual movies sent to us, which is wow. So the slipcover count is 50. Now there's probably more than that because I put a few on some movies. I put them in my shelves. So there might be a few more than that, but the fact that this an astronomical stuff has been given to me is just unbelievable. There's been some real wow movies in here, and when I thought, oh, I can't believe it, that Dead Drop. I know it sounds mad. It's just, like I say, it's just one of the things that I do really enjoy, in the fact to have that, and the kind of the ultimate edition of Dead Drop. Who'd have thought it? So if I ever bump into Luke Goss in Newcastle, I can tell him all about that Dead Drop slip. Wow. So once again, thanks, mate. I can't thank you enough. This is hopefully this is a huge video, but I've got a lot to cut out because I was like muching on the shelves and all that. So if you haven't seen part 1, I'll leave a link to part 1 down there. And I just want to thank you again that this was just being above and beyond the realms of like when you accept something, you just think, oh, this is just amazing, and the amount of stuff and money you would have saved me doing this is great. I just can't thank you enough. And also say hello to Elaine for me. Okay, so my mouth's that dry now, I need to get myself a mega pint. So thanks for watching, especially you, Michael and Elaine. Take care, and I will see you on my next video. Cheers.
It's good.